What's poppin', combat sports fans? Welcome back to the channel. Today I just wanted to kind of break down the weekend we had in combat sports. It was a really good weekend. We had a solid boxing fight, one of the biggest boxing fights in history, honestly, and especially in recent history. Within the last 5 years, that's probably the biggest boxing fight since Conor versus Floyd, in my opinion. Or even since like Tyson Fury versus Wilder, the trilogy, or the rematch, whatever the fuck won. But yeah, my point being, we had a great fucking boxing fight between Gervonta Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia. We had the UFC card, Pavlovich versus Blaydes. It was a decent little fight night card. And then we also had Patchy Mix versus Rafian Stots in Bellator, which is one of the best bantamweight fights of the year. I was super excited for that fight. I can't believe it ended the way it did. It was so quick. Let's just get into that one to start us off, because it was easily the easiest of these three big fights to break down. Rafian Stots versus Patchy Mix. Patchy Mix, in the first round, in like a minute and a half, throws a knee up the center, and a jab or a straight or something, they both connect, and they put the champion out cold. So now Patchy Mix is the new Bellator bantamweight champion. He's easily one of the best bantamweights on the planet in any organization, and I really hope he takes the Michael Chandler route, builds his name a little bit in Bellator, becomes a homegrown star, and then moves over to the UFC so we can see him against some real competition. Because let's be real, Bellator only has like 4 or 5 bantamweights that are really, really high caliber, UFC caliber, and I just want to see him against the best. I want to see Rafian Stots up in there too. Wouldn't mind seeing Magomedov. No, actually, they can keep him. They can keep Magomedov. He'll get whooped by the UFC fighters, probably by at least everyone in the top 10. Moving on into the boxing fight, Gervonta Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia. I made a quick couple-minute prediction video on this fight, and my prediction came true almost perfectly. I'm not saying that like it was something really hard to predict, but I was really surprised with the amount of people that were riding with Ryan Garcia beforehand. Half of my friends were riding with him, and I was just really caught off guard by that. And I was nervous in the first round. The first 2 rounds, it looked like Ryan had his number, and he was catching him a lot, and it looked like Tank just didn't know what to do. But he really quickly composed himself, and he just point-blank outboxed him with a left hand and movement. It was beautiful to watch. He's the face of boxing now, and deservedly. I'm really starting to become a fan of Tank. I mean, I've always been a fan, but over the last year, his personality's been getting shown a lot more in interviews and whatnot, and I fuck with the guy. I really hope that he can continue his legacy and really end as one of the GOATs in boxing in the next couple of years. Great fight, though. Drops Ryan with the left hand in the second round when Ryan's getting kind of reckless and unloading. He throws like 4 hook combinations, the same left hook in a row, and on the 4th one, Tank ducks it, slips perfectly, and throws a beautiful counter left straight. And then following that in the 7th round, I believe, he gets him out of there with a body shot to the liver. It was beautiful. One of the best shots you could have ever seen. Fucking crazy, man. I didn't even notice it at first. It was so fast. And then when Ryan backed up, I knew he was hurt. And he went down and he didn't pop back up. It's crazy. It was honestly probably the most... I don't even know why, because I'm way more of an MMA fan, but it was the most excited I've been for like a boxing match. Like it just goes to show we never see the best fight the best in boxing. And that's why MMA is just such a superior fucking sport, dude. I swear, it really is. All you boxing purists out there need to check out MMA, because you'll really find yourself enjoying your weekends way more often than not. And now for the UFC fights, just to segue into MMA since I'm already talking about it. We've got UFC Fight Night. I thought it was 224, but I guess it's like a Vegas card. I don't get how they number that shit, but whatever. We got Fight Night Pavlovich versus Curtis Blaydes. I picked Curtis Blaydes. I did not think his game plan was going to be to go out there and fucking stand with Pavlovich and try to earn respect for like a solid 3 minutes. Like, what are you doing, dude? I said in my prediction video that I'm going with Blaydes, but if Pavlovich is to win, he's going to keep him at range, land that fucking weird uppercut he throws that kind of looks like his overhand. They both torque the same. That's like his windup is coming low. It's so confusing, but it's really beautiful to watch in motion, honestly, for a big ass heavyweight Drago. But yeah, he just sparked Blaydes, put him out on his feet, and he covered up, couldn't do anything, TKO'd him. Really was probably a KO. Feels bad. I'm actually a really big Curtis Blaydes fan. I've wanted to see him get the belt for a minute now. I just feel like he's one of the hardest working, if not the hardest working heavyweight. but he gets gypped because he's not a personality, and I mean, that's just the way things go. I'm trying to think if there's any other really good fights on that card. The co-main event, Bruno Silva versus... what is his name? Brad Tavares. I picked Brad Tavares too. I was doing really good on that card, actually. Damn near undefeated all the way up until the last 2 fights. Really disappointing, to say the least. Brad Tavares looked great. His cut looked fresh too. I really felt like we were seeing an evolved Brad Tavares, and I thought he was going to come out there and get his moment like Jake Matthews did earlier last year, but it didn't happen. He got sparked. It was an early stoppage for sure, but I'm not mad at it because he got hit bad with that right hand. I just wish they would have let it keep going because he was clearly still in the fight and he was pissed the second it got stopped. As was I. And in the feature fight of the night, Bobby Green versus Jared Gordon. It was close. You can have an argument for either one of them winning up till the end, but I have a problem with this. If Bobby Green's going to get a disqualification and not a win, then why did Curtis versus Kelvin Gastelum not end the same way? Because that's what happened. He got dropped bad with a headbutt, but because he survived and kept fighting, that means he has to take the L rather than having a point deducted. Or no, I'm sorry, not a point deducted because it was accidental, but like at least having the fight no contested, just like what we saw with Bobby Green. I don't understand it. I wish the rules were consistent because this is the type of shit that pisses off MMA fans, and it pissed me off. I'm actually counting that as a Bobby Green fucking win, and I don't care what anybody says. He put him out with strikes after the headbutt. Jared Gordon was still in it, still fighting, still defending, and then he got put to sleep while he was on the ground. That's way fucking different. I'm sorry, it's not debatable to me either. Other than that, didn't have too many big fights. Jeremiah Wells versus Matthew Semmelsberger. I picked Jeremiah Wells. It's controversial, I guess, because he got dropped, but I still kind of thought he won the fight. I don't know, man. MMA is weird. For the most part, I would never say that, but I actually do agree with the decision. Jeremiah Wells is 4-0 now. He's a good prospect in welterweight, somebody to look out for sure. Other than that, Muhammad Usman versus Junior Tafa. I should have picked Mo Usman. I had a feeling that could happen, but I really thought Junior Tafa was just going to blast him on the feet because Muhammad Usman is garbage on the feet, and it showed. He just looked like a fish out of water, but that didn't happen, and he ends up winning a boring-ass fight where he just holds him up against the cage and lays on him for 2 rounds. So, it is what it is. I'm glad that he won low-key because he is still a name while being Usman's brother. Kamaru's brother, I'm sorry. So, I'll take it, whatever. Muhammad Usman 2-0 in the UFC now. And then finally, let me just talk about Brady Hiestand versus Dana Batgarel. I picked Brady Hiestand. I picked him to win exactly like this. I thought he was going to get dropped and hurt in the first round, or early in the fight at least, and he was going to come back and either win 2 rounds or get a finish, and that's what happened. He got a TKO finish. He just had more steam. Dana Batgarel blew his wad, couldn't do anything, and ended up getting taken down with a beautiful blast double, drove into the fence, and then just took like fucking 100 shots. A lot of them were blocked, don't get me wrong, and they were kind of pillow fists, but it doesn't matter. He took a lot of unanswered strikes, and you could tell he was done. So great win for Brady Hiestand. I'm actually hyped for that because I feel like he could be a name in the bantamweight division. I really liked him watching The Ultimate Fighter. I knew he would lose to Ricky Tercios, but I still felt like the UFC would give him a chance, and they have, and now he's 2-1 in the UFC following his debut loss, and that's pretty solid. So that's all for what happened this weekend. I know this video is coming out a little bit late. I probably could have posted it on Sunday if I'm being honest, but I've been a little bit busy, and I just wanted to get my thoughts all together on how I felt about this weekend. So let me know what you guys think. Me personally, I feel like we were spoiled this weekend. I love these weekends where there's other organizations competing with the UFC in combat sports, and there's good fights in all of them. I really think that's the best case scenario for us combat sports fans. Yeah, let me know what you guys thought down below. Let me know what you guys think about this weekend's fights. I don't know. I think it's Song Yadong versus Ricky Simone, which is like the only fight I'm looking forward to on that shit. I'll have a video coming out soon breaking that down, so stay tuned on the channel. I love y'all. I'll catch y'all.